Hi everyone. Today we're going to study derivative of trigonometric functions. The derivative of trigonometric functions are, we wrote the first two, d over dx of sine x. This is equal to cosine x. Second, d over dx of cosine x equals negative sine x. The second two are d over dx of tangent x equals secant square x. The fourth one, d over dx of cotangent x equals negative cosecant square x. The last two, we have d over dx of secant x. This is equal to secant x times tangent x. The last is d over dx of cosecant x. This is equal to negative cosecant x times cotangent x. Take note that trigonometric identities are helpful in simplifying derivative. Some important but not limited to identities are tangent x equals the fraction sine x over cosine x. Cotangent x is equal to 1 over tangent x, and this is equal to the reciprocal of this fraction. So we write here cosine x over sine x. Next, we have cosecant x equals 1 over sine x. Secant x equals 1 over cosine x. Sine square x plus cosine square x equals 1. This is one of the most popular identities. Tangent square x plus 1 equals secant square x. 1 plus cotangent square x equals cosecant square x. Let us see this example. Find the derivative of y equals tangent x. For our solution, we're going to refer to this formula d over dx of tangent x equals secant square x. Now, the derivative of this function, we are going to write here y prime equals secant square x. This is the final answer. Example 2. Find f prime of x of f of x equals x squared cotangent x. For our solution, let us observe that our function here is a product of two functions. The first function is x squared. The second function is cotangent x. So we are going to use two formulas here. The first is the product rule. So we write here d over dx of the product f times g. This is equal to f times g prime plus g times f prime. Next is the derivative of cotangent x. So we have d over dx of cotangent x equals negative cosecant square x. For the computation of derivative, we write now f prime of x equals, we copy this x squared here, times, we are going to show that we will take the derivative of cotangent x later. So we write cotangent x prime. plus we copy this cotangent x, it is here now, times the derivative of the first function, x squared. So we see the prime symbol here. Let us now simplify the derivatives. So we have x squared times the derivative of cotangent x is negative cosecant square x plus we copy again this cotangent x times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x. Now let us simplify the corresponding products. So we write f prime of x equals negative x squared cosecant square x plus 2x cotangent x. Take note that the x here is a polynomial function, while the x in here is the angle of the cotangent. So we cannot put them together. This is our final answer. Example 3. Find dy over dx of y equals the fraction 2 times cosine x all over 1 plus sine x. For our solution, let us observe that our function here is a quotient. So we write the quotient rule. D over dx of the fraction f over g equals g times f prime minus f times g prime all over g squared. Next formula is the derivative of cosine x. So we write here d over dx of cosine x. This is equal to negative sine x. Next is the derivative of this sine x. So d over dx of sine x equals cosine x. We are now ready to write the solution for the derivative. So we have dy over dx equals, we will apply the quotient rule, first by squaring the denominator. 1 plus sine x is now squared here. And then, in the numerator, we're going to write 1 plus sine x, that is the g function, times the quantity, which is the derivative of the numerator. So this is 2 cosine x prime. Then minus, we will copy the numerator, 2 cosine x times the derivative of the denominator, 1 plus sine x. That symbol here again shows derivative. Let us now simplify the corresponding derivatives into like this. We will copy everything except that our derivative here of 2 cosine x now becomes, we put the constant outside 2 and then take the derivative of cosine x, and that is this negative sine x. Then this negative 2 cosine x we copy here, then we take the derivative of this binomial. The derivative of 1 is 0, that is a constant, plus the derivative of sine x is cosine x. Now simplifying the product of the numerator, we have now negative 2 sine x minus 2 sine square x for this group. Then minus, for this group here, it is simplified into 2 cosine square x all over the same denominator. Please observe in the numerator that we have a common factor, and that is the negative 2. We can pull out the negative 2, so we have this negative 2 times the quantity sine x plus sine square x plus cosine square x all over this same denominator. Take note that the sum of sine square x plus cosine square x is an identity, and that is equal to 1. So we can change these two into a simple value, which is 1. So we have now negative 2 times the quantity sine x plus 1. Please observe also that this sine x plus 1 is the same with 1 plus sine x. So we can cancel this binomial in the numerator, and we will subtract 1 in the power of our denominator. So our answer now becomes negative 2 all over the quantity 1 plus sine x. This is our final answer. I hope you learned something from this video. See you again next time.